Hello, y'all. It is the day that it is. It's Tuesday. That's stream day now. How about that? We are doing today a little bit of the Skyward Sword, the sixth chunk of that, which will include, sixth dungeon, the sixth area before the sixth dungeon, and a trial. The third one of those, the last one of those. Hopefully, it all goes smoothly. You know what? It occurs to me there's probably a fourth trial, isn't there? One on Skyward Island, right? Skyloft. Yeah. Now that I say that, now that once I say it's the last one, it occurs to me. Wait a minute. Skyloft has one, doesn't it? Ah, crap. There's a fourth one. Okay. Second to last trial. We'll see that. There'll be a whole bunch else. It'll be a straightforward night wherein we do these two, do this chunk of the game, and then we'll probably end. And if I had to bet, I would say we'll take somewhere between 2 and 4 hours, all told, depending on how annoying or straightforward the things that we run into are. Last time we did the Sand Ocean, which very, very, very conceptually cool part of this game. Maybe the height of it as far as that stuff goes. As far as like a solid chunk of this game goes. The Sand Sea is hard to beat. This next chunk isn't quite as impressive, but it's fine. Hey, it is the last major chunk before the game deals us some real bloat and makes us run around and go through each area and do an annoying thing and do that like rinse repeat 3 times, 3 annoying things and one in each area before we can have the last dungeon. I suspect next stream we don't get to the next dungeon next stream. That is my suspicion. That is my thought. That is my, unfortunately, I think that is what's going to happen next stream, next time. I have one thing to say up top. Stream business. It's a good thing. Let me just, pull the card as I do. Hey, last stream last stream was a Mario Maker stream. Sort of my bread and butter. We have a level bot there. And for a while, it's had an issue with parsing Japanese names. Japanese users have tried to add levels on the YouTube side. And because they have non-English characters in their name, the bot just seemed to ignore them. And I have now looked into this and figured out what was going on, and I fixed it. The bot is now fixed. Japanese users should be able to submit levels next time we do viewer levels, so look forward to that come Friday. We'll no longer have to work around that and accommodate people, due to that bug. The levels will just be submitted like normal. Really happy about that. I've said before I want to do a trip to Japan sometime this year. And I say sometime, like in the fall. And I have given thought to like trying to do like a, maybe one Friday or 2 Fridays or whatever. Try to do like a Mario Maker stream from Japan. And it'd be ridiculous if Japanese people could not add levels while I was literally in their country. That would be the height of folly. No. Anyway, really happy about that. Really looking forward to using that level bot thing forever and it working correctly for a change. Well, it mostly worked before, and now it'll even more mostly work. Really, really happy about that. Let's go. Okay. Let's go ahead and return to the sky and get the Return to the Sky, get a new song. This should be pretty straightforward. Last time it was very straightforward. We just went a place and did a thing. I think I might also pop by the town as well. I've realized that I should probably get that fancy shield that, just pick up one of those while I'm in there. I think last time I didn't have any money, so I couldn't buy the fancy shield. But I probably should. I still got the steel one, you see. Pretty much self-explanatory. How about, we do a card while we're just flying to the place? I got a good number of cards tonight to go through, which I will try to intersperse as I do. I only made like 12, 14, somewhere in there for tonight. I forget what the exact number is, but hopefully not too many. Here's a card. Been listening to the Revolutions podcast. I'm in the French Revolution. It's the best. Re-listening to. I've went through the entirety of it multiple times, and yeah, I mentioned on Friday that and Thursday as well that I had just started that up, and my God, it is very easy to just binge right through that. To just tear right through it. You know, each episode is like a half hour long, and they just flow right into each other. The story does. It's just full of extremely good bits. French Revolution, I think, is the best revolution. And it's certainly the point where it becomes, like, actual revolutions. Like, before that, the English Revolution is sort of a failed revolution that was more accidental than anything. And the American Revolution is, like, 40%... It is, like, maybe 60% war. You know, there's some interesting revolutionary stuff going on in the American Revolution, but things really hit the fan with the French Revolution, and it's just fascinating, and it's just, the history is full of amazing bits. Was the statue always below me? I guess there's 3 statues in here. I think wasn't it last time on a wall? Maybe I'm thinking of a different statue that sang to me. There have maybe been multiple singing statues. I gotta do a trial for the goddess. Who remembers? Anyway, that's been going quite nicely. I've just been basically letting it just keep on playing episode after episode while I drive, while I work, you know, while I eat, before work as I'm eating breakfast. It's very nice to have something I can just hit play on and not have to think about, like, what am I gonna watch before work today? What am I gonna watch while I'm making my eggs? And it's like, oh, I'm just gonna listen to a podcast. Great, okay. That's beautiful. That's not even something I have to think about. Yep. Another one of those. Revolutions podcast, I'll say, it's just full of fascinating history, and it's really well told. I think my favorite episode is definitely, I say this, there was a bit in the Russian Revolution that is basically just a bank robbery. Or, well, not a bank robbery, like a armored car robbery in that the revolutionaries used to fund their revolution, which is really cool when you realize, like, oh, these revolutionaries are just fucking bank robbers. That's great. I love that. That's beautiful. They're just straight up crooks. Just straight up doing heists. That's a pretty good one, but I think my favorite episode is The Trial of King Louis, which is full of fantastic little bits, like, I really love how, the guards of King Louis treated him with total contempt, to the point where they literally made up a last name for him and starts calling him Citizen Capet after like his great-great-great-grandfather who was like Hugh Capet or some shit. And Louis hated it, being called Citizen Capet. This man, Louis Capet. Anyway, there's a good bit also where another bit during that whole trial that I really love is when San Juice comes along, and it's really great when the podcast guy in question, Mike Duncan, gets to introduce someone by saying like, "Oh, here comes up the youngest member of the delegation of the assembly, Mr. San Juice, who will soon become known as the Angel of Death." And that's when you know, like, okay, this guy is gonna be saying some good things. You know, he's a firebrand. He's got some inflammatory rhetoric. He's gonna say some shit, and then the king's gonna die because he said the right shit. And it's like, ooh, crap. That's, even now, it's a compelling argument for why kings should fucking die. Wow. I can see why this dude was a menace. And, ultimately ended up getting hundreds of people killed horrifically through just his rhetoric, you know? The way that he put things. God damn. I think my favorite part that I didn't remember, and this is kind of a big qualifier here, my favorite part that I didn't remember from previous re-listens to Revolutions. When the Bastille was stormed, the guy, like, in charge, right, they took him down, and, you know, the podcast also makes note of, like, yeah, there's kind of no one in the Bastille, just a bunch of crooks and like, vagabonds and all that. Not really, as bad as rumor suggested, but they still took the guy who was, like, running it, and the whole mob, they marched him down, and they argued what to do with him, and one guy said, you know what, hey, let's all take it easy. Let's bring him to the hotel, let's relax, and when we've all had a good think about it, we'll figure out what to do with him. And the guy in question just said, enough! Let me die! And he kicked that guy right in the fucking balls. And then he was immediately obliged. Everyone stabbed him from multiple directions. And then they shot him. Pretty fucking good. It's a pretty fucking good bit. I just... History has some good bits in it, I'll say. Like, the Flight to Wherein is also a really good bit, as is all the trials and stuff. I think I remembered this, but it is very fascinating to me that, very fascinating to me that, like, part of why... As they went to try some of the guys, you know, one of the things about the French Revolution is that the revolution sort of ate its own children, right? The people who were involved earlier, eventually they were not radical enough to continue being in the revolution. But the thing is, a lot of them were lawyers at a certain point, and, well, they all were very good at arguing why they shouldn't be killed. So, at that point, the people in charge, the whoever, you know, the assembly as was constituted at the time just said, fuck it, kangaroo trial. Trials now have a time limit, 3 days, and then we just say you're guilty, and that's it. Fucked up, but I can see how it happened. Can we afford any of these? Feels like I was on the tracker, or not the tracker, the stream manager, and I wasn't on it. Weird matter. Okay, I got treasure detection. I got an empty bottle here. Wait, where's my... What happened to my wooden shield? Maybe it broke. Must have broke. Completely forgot that it broke, but it has been, as it always is, a week. Get some heart potion, and, yeah, then we'll hold down. I believe I will continue listening to the whole thing, and going through 3 seasons. I'm like halfway through the French Revolution, which has 50 episodes. And then the other 2 have like 15 maybe. Going through 3 seasons over the course of like a week just shows how fast you can really tear through when you do things like, you know, just continuously listen to it as you go about your work, or drive, or eat, or, you know, right before bed. You know, you do that, a podcast will just disappear. You know, play a video game and listen to some at the same time. When you do stuff like that, you just tear through. You just tear through, and it's good. Good way to enjoy a fine piece of media. Again, I'll say what I said when I started in on this, is that it was inspired by hearing a streamer that I really love talk about how he didn't even know that the king really died. Like, that just made me go like, oh my god, dude, you should listen to just the French Revolution season specifically. But it is really easy to just listen to all of it. I said that on his Discord. I'm not sure if he ever would, but I think he would find it fascinating. Dan would. Dan Reichert. I think Dan Reichert could enjoy history if it was well told. Well, I think anyone could, honestly. It's part of the magic of, where are we going? Of podcasting. I have no idea where the gate is this time. Hey, buddies, don't mind me. It's probably like right here or something. Let's just pop up and let's fast travel over there by returning to the sky and then popping on down. Beautiful. And I'll say I listened to a good deal of it over the weekend, to be fair, but also a good deal of it while, you know, going about my business the last 2 days, which have been work days, you know, weekdays. Okay, we're going. Let's go to Volcano East. We should be able to triangulate from here. If not, find out it's like just 2 feet away. Okay, we're like on a straight line from where we were looking previously, so kinda inconclusive there. It's interesting how this game introduced the run, which, you know, would later come in Breath of the Wild, become a staple and a thing that everyone really loves. It works well here, as does mantling up walls, all that business. But it's better in the other game. Ah, here we go. Okay, perfect. Another card? Let me do another card while I'm just singing a song. Been rewatching Breaking Bad. Finished season 1. Started season 2. God damn. Some really good shit in that last episode with, like, the whole methylamine business. I love that problem. The song kind of blows. What the hell? It's not a good song. Compare that to, like, any of the songs from Ocarina. It's just literally scales back and forth. I guess that's what you do with harps. That's why no one plays a harp. Well, no, some harpists do like more sophisticated, like plucking around, you know. And everyone doesn't just do doodly doo diddly doo all the time. That's just for like maybe it is like the signature thing that it can do easily, like, oh yeah, you do a scale. Basically does itself. I don't know, though. It's not that compelling, I guess. How about we save? Quick save. So yeah, Breaking Bad. Having a great time watching it with my folks again. We rewatched it like 5 years ago, and we're rewatching it again now. And it's good to go through. I feel like here we are. Third trial, by the way. Hey, third trial. Now, this one, I guess maybe there's a reason why this one was the third one that they gave us. Because, stop acting surprised, this is your third one, dude. Do I have any questions? It's my third one! What? Yes! What's a spirit vessel? What's a guardian? Waking water? What's that? Never mind. I guess the idea is that you can't ask for help. Oh. You literally have a button that puts help on the screen. You can't ask her for help during this sequence, so, you know, if you do have any questions, now's the time. Except it's the third one, so you should understand it by now. I have no idea where the first thing I need to get is. I guess over there, but it's behind a guy, so how does that work? And I can't run and turn the camera at the same time, so that's cool. Hey, good looking out, buddy. Is lava water? Good. Lava is not waking water. They're two different things. That makes sense. Hang down here. Grab that. Let's try to do this all in one go. Just mostly by, hopefully just running in the right direction randomly. Fuck do you get up the mountain? Guess we have to go this way. Anyway, Breaking Bad is great. One thing I really love in it is its way that it sort of goes from one thing to the next. Each episode sort of... The stakes and the challenges that face them are completely different by the end of each episode. You know, I think that the last episode of season 1, ironically, just because of writer strike issues, happens to be a fantastic example of that, where the previous episode, Walter says to Tuco, he says, "You gotta take two pounds," just because he has the upper hand, and he thinks like, "Fuck it, I might as well push my luck here. I got it there." And he says 2 pounds, and then it becomes obvious, like, oh, actually, with the current methods that they use, 2 pounds isn't gonna be possible. So they have to think outside the box and figure it out, and, you know, the thing that they figure out ends up being basically the way that the show is for the rest, you know. Their signature blue comes about as a result of the stuff that happens at the end of season 1. And it's almost as if, the fuck? It's almost... The significance of the blue is not clear in its first appearance. It may be blue, but it's the bomb, is all that's said about it. It's a good bit. I'll say season 2 might be one of the weaker seasons, honestly. But also, personally, I think this just because when I think of season 2, I think of the whole overarching bullshit where, yeah, something really silly happened as a result of Walter's cause of effect, right? Walter indirectly caused the thing to happen, and they sort of tease that for the whole season. And when you find out what it is, it's like, well, realistically, that would never happen. For lots of reasons. And even if it did, you can't really lay the blame all on... There's multiple problems here. Which, honestly, one thing I think that's really fun about season 2 is that it literally addresses the previous season, where Hank is watching the video of what happened in the finale of the previous season, and he makes observations that I'm sure people in the audience also noticed, which is very funny. You know, it's a barrel, it rolls, stuff like that. And in the same way, season 3 also comments on the ridiculousness of a thing in season 2's finale, which, come to think of it, it's a neat parallel. I wonder if a lot of the seasons have something like that. Something that has the appearance of like, oh, they had time to reflect on this, and as a result, they're able to make fun of the ways in which it's is funny. Probably over here. What? Okay, I need to go up here. Like, half our time has elapsed. I'm a little concerned. Ah, good, no, there's one right there, we're fine. Absolutely. Okay, so there's bomb wall here. We can't go this way. Kind of heading back where we started. I hope this is right because... Ah, here it is. Here's what we need to do. We can either take a lift up or run left. I think let's go left. Oh man, I wish this paused the clock. Maybe it does. I don't know. The silly thing in season 2 of Breaking Bad, I think, does kind of diminish it a bit. Don't see me. I can't turn the camera while I'm running. Fuck! That sucks. Fuck! That really sucks. Our perfect streak is ruined. Yeah, I know what's a good strategy. You know, it'd be a good strategy if I could move the camera while running. I think that would be a fantastic strategy for survival. So I could look where I'm going whilst running. That, innovative idea. That silliness. I can't even turn. Okay, that's not a thing. There is a fucking fruit right there, though. Maybe it would have been better to run backwards, but I didn't see the thing. So I couldn't really make that determination correctly. Fuck it. We should probably grab it right now. Okay. Cool. There's parts of Season 2 that make it silly, but also it does have some absolutely incredible bits and incredible episodes in it. Better Call Saul, the episode, I think is literally one of the best in the entire show. And it's just a perfect example of how a self-contained episode, how self-contained and good an episode can be. In having a simple plot that explains itself, reveals and complicates itself within an episode. It's flavorful, it's original, it has a unique thing that's all its own, and then it all resolves by the end of the episode. Better Call Saul is definitely the... To me, it's the ideal Breaking Bad episode. I'm gonna grab this before going up. But I'm gonna leave the rest of this area for a later trip. Once I return here, I will do all that crap. Anyway, enjoying going through Breaking Bad. Happy with the pace so far. Looking forward to getting deeper and deeper still over time. Probably should have. Looking forward to getting deeper and deeper into it. Oh, crap. Look at all this fucking waking water. Oh, Jesus. Okay. I think we can ignore that one for now and save it for a second trip. Looks like all this area is you go up here and you come back down. I was saying earlier, this area makes sense as a finale, or like a near finale, because getting up and down the mountain is such an ordeal. It makes sense as the final one left here. Then we want to go up there, and this is going to give us... line it up and go. Navigating this area is a pain in the way that the other central areas of the other worlds are not. Because it's on a big slope. Rather than, like, in a big valley. Or... yeah, a big valley about sums up the other two worlds in structure. Structurally. There's one up there. I'm going to ignore it. Save it for later. We've done this whole area before, so I'm just going to do a quick card and talk about the next thing. Attended a baby shower. Mentioned on Friday that was a thing. My sister recently had a kid. I'm now an uncle. It was earlier than expected, so baby shower ended up being after, which, that was fine. It's just a little bit of a party where a bunch of family and a couple friends get together and sort of chat and stuff and hang out. And there's some cute activities for all involved. It's fine, you know, hey, nice to see people. It's weird. We're all like uncles together, right? Like, I'm an uncle, and I'm sure over the course of this kid's life, I'm gonna see a lot of both brother-in-law and also his brothers. I guess those would be... what's a brother-in-law of a brother-in-law? Or a brother of a brother-in-law to a brother-in-law. Like, what is that? Yeah. I guess it's not so dissimilar to, like, when I have aunts and uncles, and, yeah, a lot of them are not directly related, but indirectly. They are? I guess, actually, in the case of my aunts and uncles, they barely cross the streams because the aunts uncles on my father's side are in Texas, and the aunts and uncles on my mother's side are in the East Coast. You know, New York or Florida or somewhere else. So it's a little bit, you know, they don't know each other. And why would they? We're all, like, in the same area, so I'm sure there will be Thanksgivings and a lot of things of the sort where we'll all see each other more often. Anyway, did some, like, fun, kitschy type stuff, you know? Wherein... okay, there's one in the water there, and there's one over there, which I distinctly remember leaving. Oh, I know where they are. I'll say, there were, like, kitschy, cute little activities, one of which was to draw, like, letters of the alphabet. Like, drawings of, like, something that starts with a letter so that the kid can, you know, learn the alphabet using these things. And I drew a couple, but I thought it'd be funny to contribute brands, specifically, one of which being Whataburger. Whataburger, a Texas classic. You gotta know your Whataburger. That's what W is for, according to me. It is what it's for, to be fair. Whataburger has pretty good claim to that letter. There was also like, they bought like tie-dye shirt stuff, and we all made like tie-dye onesies. I didn't know that people still did tie-dye. I thought that that was like strictly a 90s thing. I guess it's the sort of thing where parents are more corny than like adults like me who don't interact with kids ever. You know, like, oh yeah, you're gonna have like some cheesy overplayed type business, like, oh yeah, that's cute. It's kind of basic, but yeah, parents are kind of basic, I guess. It's also interesting to notice, like, oh yeah, all these people about, you know, a lot of my sister's friends or slash brother-in-law's friends. They're like, you know, have kids as well. Everyone, this is about the age where you do that if you're gonna do that. Becoming parents and stuff, I don't know. Seems like a whole thing. Hey, we got earrings. Second try, I'll take it. Anyway, that was a thing. Nice Saturday morning tape activity. Okay sandwiches from, I say okay. They were from you know, where they're from. They were from Jersey Mike's. Jersey Mike's pretty good. I don't know, it's fine though. I'm sure that kid, that's about the biggest party he'll ever get, huh? I'm sure there'll be more type stuff as kid gets older and has, you know, well, obviously we always have birthday parties. Not parties, but we always have birthday dinners, me and my family. And I guess now we have to add the kid to that lineup in addition to just, you know, the family that we have. You know, like me, my sister, my parents. All right, let's. I think let's fast travel there. That was the trial. That was the trial. Now we're going to head to the next area, which I think is like the volcano area. Now, I will say, I didn't really remember this part of the game very well going into this. I didn't remember it very well, but since for YouTube I do have to put together like a thumbnail, I did do some searching around for like, okay, what happens during this? I was trying to find something that positively identifies this area, this chunk as being, yes, it's the 6th area. Because I don't know that the temple is, like, unique enough. I don't know that, I don't remember, like, a lot of what happened. And I'll say I did find one thing that I had forgotten. And when I saw it, I said, oh. And it is now the thumbnail of the live version. Which is that, right, that fucking bot is back, and we're gonna have to do an escort mission. I don't know when that happens, but, yeah, an escort mission will be coming at some point here. We're just gonna keep on trucking and hope for the best. We're heading... This is where the thing is, right? Yeah. Is this too hot? I have the ring now. Yeah, it's good. Why do we need water? If... it's gonna be like a door. It's gonna be like a door. I see. So it's sort of like the other area, but indoors. Gotcha. There's a hole in the roof, yes. Correct. 90%. I recommend searching for flames. In the volcano? Yeah, there's flames in the volcano. Yeah, the volcano is where they keep flames. You are correct. This is actually the best place to look for a flame. I found it. It's right there. Look. Right here. Flame. It even comes back on after you unlight it. Unlight it. It's not the term. Why do I get the feeling that I need more bottles? I get a sneaking suspicion that one bottle is insufficient, or that I'll need more bottles. It's unclear. I'm getting like a memory. Bottles are involved. Presumably to escort water. Ah. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's Why are we looking? Oh, I can hang down. Why would I want to do that? That looks suspicious up there. But moreover, oh, I thought it was gonna be a jet of air. I'm realizing now I have to give up my fucking heart potion that I paid 20 rupees for earlier. We need some water, don't we? Damn it. I don't know where you get bottles in this game, but I could use more than one of them. Hey, buddy. Flaming wall of fire. With your enhanced capability of the sword, you can now find goddess cubes. What? It's a non sequitur. You think it'd be something like, take the water poured out like right here. But, no, it's something much more obvious, which is that you gotta feed the, you gotta water the frog. It's a thirsty frog. It needs to be watered. Water it with your, you know, bottle. I'm a thirsty little frog. You have to water me. I'll say I'm often during streams thinking in a very meta way, like, is something I said just really good? Is anything I'm saying suitable for a stream name? For the name on the VOD? I'm a thirsty frog, you have to feed me. You have to, whatever the fuck I just said. That might be a bit long, but that's pretty good. The volcano is where you keep fire. Is also pretty good, god damn it. I have to double back and get more water. The volcano is where you keep fire, though. That is just true. Or where you keep flames. I gotta get it right. Hello, dog. Doge Wow Pow. How you doing? I hope I didn't not see you for a period of time that is long. These guys here are less tough. you can just sword them without worrying about the electrical parts that some of the guys in other areas have. How you doing? I hope there's not a third thing to water. Oh, wait a minute. Ah, gotta go up there. So can you grapple the... Yeah, grapple that. The vines. I guess that's always been a thing, except in games where they don't have vine, or don't have the grappling hook. Like the more recent ones. Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. I don't know, I wouldn't put it past this game to work differently in that respect. For it only to grapple onto targets or something. Okay, we need to water the frog. Alright. I'm now remembering where you have to get the water container. Can I get like a fairy for my treble to replace the potion that I just wasted? Let me just see about that, and then we'll go on a quest to get that shit. Really, you don't just grab it. Speaking of things they changed, in previous games, you used to be able to grab rupees with your grappling, your hook shots. That shit, I'm pretty sure that worked. 85% sure. We gotta do some bullshit to get a water thing, and then we gotta escort it all the way here. It's gonna be a whole pain in the ass. That is the next order of business. I'm just gonna take it for granted that I am allowed to just go directly to the person I need to talk to, who is, for what it's worth, a dragon. Big dragon. That's where we're going. Guard! How do y'all feel about kids? Definitely a question that's on my mind, given that, like, you know, my sister now has one, now an uncle, and kind of weird seeing a bunch of other parents at that whole baby shower thing. Makes me think about how, I don't know, I'm just, don't know about kids. I feel weird around them, and I don't know what to say or how to treat them. No, I would say, I feel like whenever I'm in the presence of a kid, I'd rather just, like, studiously avoid them, and I'd rather they studiously avoided me. And they seem pretty good at that, at least the ones I've known. You know, quiet kids, I suppose. They're like, yeah, they're not necessarily gonna talk to the guy who is, like, pointedly not talking to them, I guess. Or not going out of the way to enter their little world. You know, I don't really see it. Talked about Breaking Bad earlier, and I think as far as the kids question goes, I kind of view myself in relation to kids in the way that, like, Jesse Pinkman or like AJ from The Sopranos interacted with kids during their span. You know, they're just awkward, feels a little weird, and doesn't quite feel right when I see those characters do that, and I don't think it feels right for me neither. Yes, I will attempt to borrow this basin. Can I borrow the thing? Okay. Cool. The guy has to get it. Okay, cool. That was a very short interlude. I'll say with kids, I feel like, for me, I can only see the appeal insofar as, like, yeah, it's nice not to be a dead end, biologically speaking. You know, like, you can have a legacy to pass down. Genetically, it does make sense. But, other than, like, weird legacy thoughts, I just don't want to have a little person that I have to take care of for 20 years. You know, I feel like, and I say that as, you know, I watch lots of anime and fiction and shows and play games, and, you know, there's kids in that, and I think the kids in fiction can be cute, but they're not real. And they're not really, like, quite as friendly, or as, in my experience anyway, the kids that I've met. Not quite as, maybe friendly is the wrong word. Not quite as, like, immediately obvious how cute they are, right? It's more of a just like, oh, hey, there's a little person there. How about that? Like, huh, wow. That's a thing. Whereas, you know, in fiction, it's always played up in a way that is fun and good and you like. I don't really see that for me. I would like to get a dog. That's about it. That's about it. You know, and a dog will be your best friend. A dog will you know, give you all the affection you want. The only thing is that a dog, you know, is a temporary deal. You have a dog for like 10, 15 years, and then you gotta get a new one, which is depressing. But what are you gonna do? Are you okay, guy? The guy there? Okay, good. The guy is still there. All that to say, I don't think it's for me. I don't see that ever happening. Alright, we fell down here. This is not where we want to be. Nope. The summit. Yes, that's right. You brought it all the way to the sky once. You should do it a second time. It'd be easier than going through this whole sequence. Okay. You're not going to, like, proceed until we're ready, right? Escort mission. Escort mission. Annoying escort mission time. Let's fucking go. You're going to have to... If you end up taking a hit, you're going to drop that shit. And then you're going to have to start all over and go get some more water, right? So... how's about you just fly up to the sky and go back? Or here's an idea. Just fly really high where they can't hit you. Oh my god, you fucker. Right, they have bows and arrows. We just have to shoot them all. Okay. I just don't want that kind of commitment, you know? Seems to me that having kids is like a second job. And I have a hobby, streaming, that is already, as time-consuming as a second job, kind of, little bits. But not really, it's not... having a kid is probably a bigger time commitment than being a streamer. If you stream twice or 3 times a week. What's up, dude? Oh, we could just head over there, can't we? It is, isn't it? Anyway, that's what I had to say about that. Definitely food for thought, seeing, like, parents, considering what the future is going to be like with like, my sister's kids as he grows up, and if she has more of them, that's going to be like a whole thing going forward. Holidays are going to be more for them than for the way it has been for all us adults, as time goes on. Jesus Christ, this guy sucks. Just follow me, dude. How about you just follow me? Why are you over here? I guess I took a shortcut and he couldn't figure it out. Wow. Where are you going? This is literally the worst escort mission. What the fuck are you doing? No, you're not. You're going the wrong way. This is literally the worst escort mission I've ever seen in a video game. What the hell? I think I was talking in Twilight Princess. When we were... A few months ago, I replayed all of Twilight Princess. Same idea as this, HD. And I called the part where you guided a statue around the best escort mission anyone's ever made. This one might be the worst one. I haven't played RE4. People say that the escort mission in that was... Well, actually, I don't think they say it's super bad. It is RE4. The game that people love, but... It is an escort mission, and they say so. Maybe one of the more famous escort missions, but probably not the worst one. This one might be the worst one. That whole genre is trouble. Honestly, there might be a worse one in Zelda that I'm just not thinking about. There are some bits of Zelda where it is perhaps not ideal. Not what you want. Hey, can we take the vent up? I can't use that. You're going to have to walk. Fuck you. Wow. This really sucks. Really super sucks. One thing that's weird about being an uncle now, a thing that apparently someone said to my sister and she relayed to all of us, and this is relevant to me, so don't worry, it's not like a confidential thing. Apparently some person said, like, wow, you are really lucky because, your brother, me, won't have any kids, so when he were to pass, he'll leave everything to your kids. And my sister thought, well, that seems premature. That's a weird thing to say. And I heard that and I said, yeah, that is a weird thing to say. I can't say that that's not incorrect. Like, I do know that is a thing a lot of people end up doing. You know, a lot of people end up inheriting things from aunts, uncles who otherwise don't have next of kin. Like, yeah, that is, I guess, how that works. Weird thing to think about, especially given I do not know these kids. The kids do not exist yet in a way that you can, you know, interact with them, talk to them, look at them. Haven't even met the kid yet. And based on that, I would say it is highly, highly premature to say, like, that I would leave him or any potential siblings anything. But I guess that's what people do. It's weird to think about. It's weird to think about. I'll say my personal preference would be like, well, it wouldn't be charity, I don't think. I probably wouldn't do that as, like, the thing to leave it all to. Maybe some of it, honestly. But the thing I would want to do after I were to pass would be to say, hey, I would like my money to go to to the cost of freezing me in a freezer for you know, as long as possible, and then reviving me when medical technology has reached a point. Dude, fuck off. Fucking robots. Revive me when technology has reached the point. That's kind of what I'd like to put my money towards. I don't really know if that's a real thing you can do. I mean, I know it's a real thing, but I don't know, like, how much it costs. Dude! You asshole! Okay, at the very least, it only takes you back to the previous checkpoint. Okay. I can't even see the guys I have to shoot. They haven't spawned yet. So... Oh, well, actually, no. They're cleared out. Okay. This still sucks, though. Wait. No, this is an earlier area. This is not the ramp we were on. Oh, but the big guy is dead, so I assume some of the guys up ahead are also still dead. That's fine then. I would like to live forever. That's what I want. You know, then you don't need anyone to, like, carry on your legacy or whatever. Not that a kid carries on a legacy. That's actually not what a kid does. That's absolutely not what a kid does, actually. But if you could just live, you hear me? Forever, indefinitely, you don't have to worry. Oh crap, I didn't notice that guy. I didn't notice there was a guy on that platform. That's really on you. You should have stayed behind me rather than hanging out on the wrong platform where the guy was. I literally can't wait while I'm running up a slope. It doesn't work like that. I can't stop. Or else. If I go in there, he's gonna complain, so we gotta snipe them ahead of time. This is like a much worse version of the shootout sequence in the last game, except it's like a dry version of that, without any juice, without any, like, emphasis, without any flavor. It's just I'm just walking here. Walk into the dungeon. And slowly and methodically picking off enemies that are in the way. I'm out of arrows. Please lose track. I need to fight this guy, and if you're here, it's gonna be a whole fucking thing, isn't it? Yeah, I'm gonna handle it. Well, you're the one who had to follow me right up to where the monster was, so it's on you, dude. Fuck. This is terrible, man. Can I whip this guy? Why? That's a silly thing to do. I know. Okay. The whip really hasn't come up that much recently. Got him. I'm all out of arrows here, dude. Let me dig. Money. Great, just what I need. Hey, can I, like, ask you to... No, I can't ask you to, like, stay put for a while, can I? Christ. Previous game, in Wind Waker, 2 games ago, I guess, there was parts where you had a thing and you could just say, like, hey, stay here. Or, hey, follow me. It didn't suck quite this much. As a result, this really blows. Next week, though, man. If this part really blows, I'll tell you, I remember the part that, like, starts up the third lap around the worlds. The flooded forest. God, there's another one. I remember the flooded forest very acutely. It's a bad part of the game. Very much. Not looking forward to that. Can I, like, throw a bomb and then hook it on? No, that doesn't... It's not fast enough. I could... I can do that. Oh, I hate this guy. Okay, let's back off, dude. Let me hit these guys with a little stun thing. And now we can just, presumably, walk through here. Right? Okay. Good. This guy's the worst. You know, Skyward Sword does have good bits, but the bloat is like the most, honestly, some of the most cancerous bloat that a Zelda game has ever had. And that is depressing, because the Triforce Hunt in Wind Waker is you would think that would be bottom of the barrel, just like, hey, go do a bunch of busy work for 3 hours, 4 hours, more on the original version. And in the Japanese original version, forget about it. Apparently, I was watching like a speedrunner playing, watching a speedrunner play, Wind Waker. It was Linkus. Linkus was doing a video. Linkus 7, you know, the famous speedrunner. He was doing a video explaining a new route or something. Anyway, he was saying that, like, in the Japanese version, there's, like, there's no farmable rupees in the game, so, and you don't get enough just by naturally playing the game to like, translate any of the maps, so you kind of just have to, like, grind. Jesus Christ, there's... So... How about I... Yeah, there we go. There we go. Yeah, got those. And there's just one fire guy to go. Right here. He's gonna scream, he's gonna shit. Where's the fire guy? Okay, Pape, no fire guy. Oh, I guess because this is like a different instance than the version we were in earlier. It's all souped up. So, as a result, it had different monsters. And in specific, that one fire guy that we saw like 3 times while doubling back and forth to do water doesn't make an appearance. Water! Yes. Now take that back to the dragon. Fucking shit. I'm insulting the robot. I'm saying he's a piece of shit. Little shit, you know, that's what he is. Where'd the thing go? I hope Dragon didn't want that back. It's fine. It's fine. I'm just fucking saying things. As I am wont to do. All right. Yeah, that's right. It's Fire Sanctuary, I think this is called. Fire Sanctuary. Okay. Yeah, Fire Sanctuary. We already did a fire dungeon in this game already. But I guess when you only have 3 areas and one of them is a volcano, what the fuck else are you gonna do with it? You know, forest is flexible. You can do a water temple. You can do a forest temple and a water temple in the same area. The deserts area is also flexible because it's like a time desert. So you can do like a desert dungeon, and you can do a weird sand boat dungeon. I guess, you know, that's like the least archetypical thing you could do if you think about it. Whereas for the volcano, they're like, Earth Temple. Fire Sanctuary? And the Earth Temple has lava in it because it's in the volcano. At the very least, this does have a little bit of a kind of like an Indian flair, I would say. Kind of has Indian vibes with the architecture. So it is distinct insofar as that goes. Also looks like water and building platforms is going to be a big part of this. I'm all out of fucking ammo, so that's fun. Should we double back and go get some, oh, fuck yes. Scoop. There we go. I was gonna say double back and go get, like, some potion. But, no, that's even better. Fairy is even better there. On other topics. Let me do another card. Got more Apple Watch bands for my relatively new Apple Watch. Been talking about it a bit the last few streams. It's a little over a week old now, so the novelty is maybe starting to wear out a little bit, and it's starting to just be like, oh yeah, you know, just something I wear on a daily basis, and it has good functionality as far as notifications go, as far as like something you can't lose so easily, you know, put down and then lose track of, like a phone. It's not the best device in the world, and I do think that I do really hope that when they do like the 10th anniversary Apple Watch situation, I hope that comes with a whole new OS that is significantly upgraded, considering that if I'm looking at like the original announcement for the Apple Watch and realizing like they have not changed X app in 10 years. That's pretty alarming, considering that the first watch was very limited, and as a result, this current watch is also very limited. I don't know, maybe the hardware just isn't that much better, actually, 10 years later. I don't know. But it's nice, and been getting more watches. Let me just zoom in a little bit and show off this one. This one is sort of a waterproof one. Figured that'd be good for swimming, theme parks, water parks, that sort of thing. It's kind of a neat one, though, because the way that it works is that it has a magnetic clasp, and when it clasps apart, it sort of separates in a manner similar to like this one here, this one, which is a Link watch, which I never understood how these worked, and now I get it. Pretty neat that it do that. Here's what the metal one looks like for a good picture of it, and also what my watch face looks like, which I quite like, honestly. See, I just pull it through like this and snap it on, and pretty snug on the wrist, which I like. Not sure if orange is the best color. It's a little more garish than I typically like for worn things, but it does match the accents on the watch itself. So that's cool. I also got this one, another waterproof one that is more of like that Apple sports band design. Seems okay. Definitely has a good, cool look to it, but it's not as good as this one, so I'm thinking about returning it, but it was $10, so honestly, I kind of wouldn't mind keeping it as a backup. Obviously, I got this one still, the leather Barton one with a softer underside. I still think that's going to be my go-to watch for, like, everyday use. I'm trying this one out, which is a magnet one. Seems to fit all right. You know, when you pull it around, it's very easy to, like, when you pull it around, it sort of latches down on both sides. When you pull it around, it's very easy to, like, secure. and magnetically clasp. But I don't like the color. White is wrong. Gonna return this one. Get navy gray. And also I just have some ones that are simple leather. Or simple fabric. Just for like sleeping with. These turned out to be a little too big though. I guess I'm extra small in as far as like an elastic solution goes. Because it needs to be short enough where it's kind of tight in order to get a good grip. And these are a little bit loose in a way that I don't think they should be. But maybe the extra small is going to be like extra tight, in which case I'd probably just use this one for sleeping. This model. I still have some thoughts, and you know, I do think that 4 of the bands. Oh, sorry, let me get that down. 4 of the bands do have very specific purposes and very specific functions. Like, you know, the leather one is sort of a good everyday, relatively classy, but also relatively reserved leather solution. Comfy as well. The metal one is good for slightly fancy occasions, you know, such as weddings or funerals. Yeah, was that the dungeon item? Right, there's a whole digging thing where you go down into underground crevices. Say it again? I literally just hit B multiple times and that dared through. Look for the 2 statues that face each other. Jump into the mouth of the sleeping statue. Sure. Did we just get a new item? No. It's not going to be recent enough where this will work, right? By the way, I tried that demo for Mario versus Donkey Kong. Oh man, that game is good for a GBA game from the time. I don't know if I would be happy playing for that in Year of Our Lord 2024. It is just so dry. The 4 levels especially. It's okay as a curiosity. I think it'd be great on GBA Online for free. It'd be a solid 3 out of 5 that way. Maybe even as high as a 4. Probably more of a 3. A perfectly good curiosity. I don't think we need like a really good modern version of it. What are we doing? Digging something? I think we might have gotten new diggers that let us, like, go down underground or something. I am not clear on that. But let's just go back here and check if there's a hole. The thing is, a lot of the watches that I have now have very clear purposes to them, right? Like, this one is slightly fancy for, like, weddings and funerals. And other things that require slightly more class. This leather watch is just good for any occasion, other than things that are tough on watches. This one is sort of a sports deal, good for exercise, and also for like swimming, water parks, anything really strenuous. Good fit for that, durable. This is the same purpose, so it's sort of redundant. This one could be for sleeping, also could be for exercise, but like of a more low-key variety, like maybe like a good walk. I don't know. Do I have to worry about my wrist getting sweaty on a walk? Like, is that a realistic concern? I don't know. And this one will be for sleeping. Or maybe the magnetic wraparound one will be for sleeping. Oh, I got a key. I got a key is what I got. Okay. I'm just realizing I got a key from the chest. He wasn't saying that the mitts were new. He was saying that, he was just confusing me by mentioning the mitts, which are a low-tier item, let's say. Not a very good one. I am kind of thinking that I'm maybe pushing it when I look at look at multiple bands and say, I could use multiple of them. It's just kind of nice to buy things and realize, like, oh, they're good. This is fine. I could live with this. Stuff like that comes to mind and makes me want to go in and, I guess it's a thing where I bought multiple bands just to try them and maybe return half. And now I'm realizing, like, oh, I think I would be fine, like, not returning them. I would be fine just keeping them. And, just staying the course. It is also a silly thing, you know, $10 band, who cares? Is it that much of a concern? Groceries yesterday, I went to the grocery store, and that was like, you know, well over $100 for groceries. Does a $10 watch band really matter? And I think the answer is yes, if you buy enough of them. And I think I have bought enough of them. I'm gonna think about it. I'm probably gonna try wearing this one, like doing something strenuous, and then think, would I ever want to really do this? Or like, you know, going in the water or going for a nice walk. Would I ever really want to wear this way? It's over here. I think we want to make him lift this up. Make the hand lift this up. Ugh. These guys are really weak to swords. I guess maybe because my sword has been upgraded by 2 fires, 2 flames. Maybe my sword is really strong now. Like preternaturally strong. That's a fun word people don't use that much. Preternaturally. I don't really know what the nuance of it is. It just sounds good, and it basically means supernaturally. But, maybe in a way that's, like, slightly more plausible. Like, as close to, supernaturally as a human can get. What are we doing up here? We're gonna get a mitts upgrade, aren't we? That's gonna be the next room. There's gonna be a mini-boss in the next room. Mitts upgrade lets us dig. That's kind of a shitty item. I don't think that... The thing in Wind Waker where you, like, go in this tiny passage and have to go, like... That kind of sucks. It always has kind of sucked. And, you know... Obviously... It is a thing that, how's the audios? Let me do a quick test. Let's just drop it a bit. You know what? It's fine now. It always has sucked. Obviously, Ocarina has had it, so it is sort of a thing that has been in the franchise forever, crawling through passages, so since it became 3D anyway. So expanding that out to be more of a thing kind of makes sense on paper, but it's sort of like if they took the sliding around on ice thing that's in every Pokemon game, or everyone at a certain point, and turned that into like a whole huge mechanic. It's unnecessary. Look, it's tolerable for like 2 seconds. It's okay for like 10 seconds. But if you make whole like 30, 40-second sequences built around it, they will all just blow. And that's not what you want. You don't want parts that blow. Segments or otherwise. Pop it down a bit. Be on the safe side here. Anyway, a lot of thought to put into that whole what. You gotta make the lava flow before you can ride that that platform, right? Yes. Maybe something like use this guy to pick up a bomb and drop it on that that. We did a mini boss, but I guess did nothing come out of that? I guess nothing came of that. Oh wait, can this guy pick up water? No. Okay, I think we need to go up there. That's it. A lot of stuff to think about that. Here's another card. Also bought a MagSafe battery, charger stands. The charger stands are not MagSafe, as they're sort of chargers where I got one for my bedroom that is MagSafe, but for like the desk and this area here, let me hand to the side. How about that'll be better. Preset 3 and just pan over. Here I have it right here. The stand, like one of those anchor stands, similar to the one I have in my bedroom, which you know, I do have, come to think of it, an image of it. Right, here? Oh, right here. Yeah, so I got that for the bedroom that has, like, multiple functions and all. Like, it'll charge your phone, your watch, etc. But, for the couch area, and just for something to put my phone on during a stream, I went with just one that's not magnetic, and that also allows me to take it off the stand and put it back on very easily, which I think is very convenient. I will say I think this stand could use a little bit of friction to it so it like stays put. I ordered some felt tape for like $6, and I figure I'll just slap some of that on there and see if it can add a little bit of grip to the thing, so it doesn't slide so much. I also put some foam in one of the corners so that the side with the cameras on it doesn't necessarily mean that it's always going to be out of kilter when it sits on the stand. Eventually, iPhone's got to figure out a way where it can... iPhone's got to figure out a way where it can... they got to figure out a way to make those fucking cameras smaller. I don't know if it's physically possible, but these fucking sticking out cameras really make it awkward to put your phone on a flat surface. Figure it out in the next 10 years. That is my thing I gotta say to Apple. In the meantime, I have modded the stand by putting a little block so that the side without a camera has something to, like, rest upon. Maybe put cameras on both sides of the thing. Would that work? Would that be good? Probably not, but would it be worse than what we have now? Honestly, they should really think about doing something about that in a generation or two. I also got a MagSafe battery, which I didn't know was a thing until the other day. I was randomly looking around for... What the hell? We go fast on this thing? No, we just go at this slow pace. Which had to be slow because this was motion controlled originally, so it couldn't... You wouldn't be able to control it if not for it being slow as molasses. There's a lot of things that contribute to this game being... this game's general quality. Did it explode touching the bomb to a rupee? There's a lot of things that contribute to this game's general quality. I think a lot of them are motion control related. But that's not all. There's also just random bad bullshit. I don't think there's any denying this is the worst Zelda game of the 3D ones. No. It's just hard to deny, I think. Like, what are you gonna say is worse? Twilight Princess? Maybe? But it kind of moves a bit faster and has a little less bloat. Just a little less bloat, though. Just a tiny bit amount of bloat. Also, a thing you can say about Twilight Princess, each area that you go to is a new area, rather than revisiting the same area 3 times, because... What the fuck happened there? Honestly, what the fuck happened with Skyward Sword's 3 areas? How did that happen? Was it a budget thing? There's so much that contributes to the quality of the game. And things that make you ask, like, why did they do it this way? Why did they do it that way? I would have to say budget, right? Because what the fuck else could it be? It's not like anyone goes into a game saying, like, okay, my artistic vision is that you'll go to the same level 4 times. You'll go to the same level 4 times. You will efficiently... It will be very efficient doing the same thing 12 times. We'll get the most use out of this space possible. We will have no wasted space in this whole game. I mean, I guess, say Odyssey, for instance, does a lot with a little and reuses the same zones, in some cases, for multiple ideas, but it's different because it's good. Whereas this is not so good. The dungeons are good, you know. I'll say this game does have some super good dungeons, and this is like the height of dungeon design in the series. You know, it's the peak. After this, they went to the Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom style of dungeon, which isn't really the same. Well, what do we do here? Buddy, what do you want me to do here? You want me to blow on you? That's not it. I can hit you with a slingshot. No, I can't do that, actually. I'm sorry. I lied. I can whip you. No, I can't. I can't reach. Hook shot. No, goes right through. Bombs. No effect. Okay. I feel like it's trying to tell me to use the... Wait. Let's do something? No. No, right? I feel like this area is a little tutorial teaching you that you can use the gust jar to clean up spills. We have a key. There's a key door, and there's where we're going. Anyway, I was talking about the MagSafe battery. It's a battery pack that just magnetically attaches to a phone. Pretty cool. And also this one in particular has a little stand that pops out, and you can sort of set it down like this. You know, can't see it, but imagine like that. Not really the most stable stand in the world, so don't expect it to work on your knee, really, but a good table, and you can set this bad boy up wherever. I do notice that it is, like, at least on my phone, the bottom of the battery goes a little bit lower, and it does add a lot of thickness and weight to it, so it's not exactly not noticeable, like in the hand. I do notice that it is very large when I attach it. I just got this today, by the way, so this is brand new to me. But this seems like a really cool design for a portable battery to recharge your stuff and to bring places, and I think this is going to be my go-to. I think I might even bring it to the office every day. Why not? And it would also serve the function of an iPhone stand for, you know, when I'm coming back from lunch, let's say, and I brought my I brought some food from a restaurant, and I want to prop up my phone and watch a video on it like this. I could do that if I had this on me. That said, it's not like my office has like plenty of like iPhone's capacitive charge stands, so it's not like I'm wanting for charge from the office. Maybe I could find like a MagSafe stand. Just a plain and simple MagSafe stand. Not necessarily a charging one that I could ferry back and forth to the office every day. Maybe that would be like a better solution to that than necessarily bringing the whole battery with me. Silly thing. Gotta take some water with you. And feed the frog. I say feed the frog. Quench the frog's thirst. Sure. It's an interesting product category. Things that magnetically attach to the phone. And it's only recently that I guess I realized how easy and how much those can do. My previous capacitive charger did not snap to the... did not, like, magnetically attach, so... I don't think I've ever had a MagSafe device until, like, just now. They seem cool. I feel like I've about reached the limits, though, about what you can do with it. You know, you can charge a phone using a you know, non-portable stand, or you can charge a phone using a you can charge a phone using a... It's weird. This area is weird to me. So many ones that you can use for the water. Got your pick of the litter. Use as a stand, use as a charger, use as a mobile battery, that's about it. There was a thinner one than the one that I got, but I decided to get the thicker one because it had a USB out on it. And if I'm getting a battery, I want a USB regular out so I can charge other stuff other than my iPhone. I got more cards. One thing that's exciting to me right now is I'm looking forward to the Asus ZenBook Duo 2024, which is a laptop that I've been looking forward to for a bit now. Here's like a whole bunch of product information about it. You can see there it's a 2-screen laptop. It has a detachable keyboard that goes over the second screen, so if you want to just use it like a regular laptop, it can be done. And it just works like a regular laptop, which seems very promising to me. Seems like the smart way to do it. It all charges while it's all in one. It travels as a single unit, which is, I think, indispensable. It sort of solves the quality of life problems that the one previous 2-screen laptop, which seems like an interesting novelty in retrospect. Well, seemed like an interesting novelty with deal breakers. They've now fixed the deal breakers Asus has, and they are also charging at $500 to $300 less than than Lenovo is for theirs. So that's fun. This is a really well spec'd out device, and I can't wait to get it, use it for work, bring it into the office, and occasionally try to maybe at some point have the option to do streams on it when I am not at home. Also, I'm running out of things to buy. Few things I'm thinking about. Yeah, I'll say I've been in sort of a buy happy mood recently. I've been constantly buying things. Constantly just thinking about the next thing I want to get. You know, the laptop, the PC, the smartphone, or smartwatch, not smartwatch. I keep saying phone when I mean watch. What a dick. You know, I've been in a constant state of getting something new and exciting, and having a great time with it. Now that I got this water, I can kill this guy. Nice. We're gonna take the volume to... Oh, I already lowered it. Let's just stick with 20 then. This music seems louder than a lot of the other music, just looking at the sound bars. Hopefully, y'all can still hear me. Yay, the lava drained, so that guy is now safe. I've been constantly, like, buying new things recently, and once I get this laptop, it'll be nothing for a while. Excepting that I will be moving soon, so, you know, that'll be the next big thing that happens in my life in April. So that's like multiple months away, so it'll be a while until I have to worry about that. Sometime, let's say. Let's say sometime. There's a room over there. It'll be some time till I have to think about that. I need to whip it. For that, I do have several things I want to get, like I want to get some sort of table. Yeah, I'm looking for treasure. And this is the dungeon item of this dungeon. Not a very good dungeon item. It's just an upgraded mitt that lets you do bad sequences. Lets you engage in a bad little top-down bit. These have never been good. Well, I guess they are putting in some decent little, like, Bomberman-style puzzles in here. Like, oh, you can sort of punch a bomb in a direction. That's kind of fun. It's alright. Yeah. So I'm gonna get, like, maybe some sort of closet organization thing. And, also a living, like a dining room furniture type deal, like a kitchen table. Small, though. Those are two things I'm gonna get in the new place. I'm also planning on getting, I want to get a green screen. I want to get 2 green screens, actually. Go back out. I want to get one for behind the couch and one for behind the PC desk area. And I want to position them such that they don't interfere with each other. Like, this layout right now is no good, would be no good for that. That's part of why I haven't done it. But with the new apartments, that's a new opportunity to just actually set it up in a way that works for that. I think that's going to be cool. I think that's going to be good. I'm going to get a retractable one so that I can, you know, unretract it between streams and have a clear line of sight to the TV, which is an important thing, I believe. What else do I want to get? I have, in the back of my mind for a while now, thought, like, what if I got, like, one of those fancy razors that just have, like, 3 little circles that spin or something. I have the kind of razor where it's like a hair clipper, or it's more of a clipper than, like, one of those things where you just put it against your skin and it just takes all the facial hair off, but that sounds very convenient. I'm kind of tired of shaving on the regular way. I have a very sensitive face, so I mean my skin. Oftentimes when I shave, it will bleed a little bit. And I figure with that sort of like machine version of it, it's not gonna do any of that. You know. I guess that would be the end of Harry's for me. If I were to get one of those things where you just go like, but not like a clipper, because that doesn't actually go up to the skin. The kind where it's like 3 little circles. I assume that's the best kind. I don't know though. I've not really looked into that category. I've not really actually honestly thought about it in a real way. It's just that's something that I've been looking at and going like, I could use that. That would probably be a significant improvement in quality of life. Time saver. It would save so much time. I wouldn't mind just doing it like every day. Which currently I often think like, okay, well, when am I gonna do it? How many days? Definitely the day of or before a stream. That's typically my rule, is like, if I'm streaming, I'm shaving. Now I'm also going to the office as well, so maybe I should also be shaved on any day where I'm going into the office, which complicates things. That means that there's most of the days I should be like properly keeping track of like the shave situation. I'll say also, for what it's worth, my facial hair is kind of slow to grow in and be noticeable, so I usually can wait a day or 2 before I shave. That is a thing, but waiting like 3 days, that's where it's no longer not noticeable. That said, sometimes I'll just, I do have, my shaving thing does have a head that is supposed to be for shaving like facial hair, and I can use that on like my mustache area and like the soul patch area, and that works. But whenever I try to use it on the side of my face, it just seems to do nothing, so sometimes I'll just touch that area up and be like, okay, well, a little bit of shadow there is fine. It's just not good on the mustache area, especially. Where are we going? Are we looking for holes to go in? Felt like... Oh, this is just a shortcut back, isn't it? I don't think we're necessarily going this way yet. We have to go that way. Okay. Other things to buy. I don't think... That's all I can think of at this moment. Stuff for the new apartments. I could use more pants. My pants have been feeling tight recently. And even the pants I thought was good and stretchy have been feeling a little tight. I guess that's just me being out of shape and getting gradually bigger. That is a depressing thing whenever that happens. I haven't had to change pant sizes in like 6-7 years. 6 to 8 years, so if I do have to change pant sizes again, I'll be sad. And kind of like, oh man, I'll be bummed out a little bit. And also, it's expensive to just switch out all your pants. Like, fucking hell. Like, I don't like to replace all my pants. That's an annoying thing to have to do. Because, you know, it hurts my fucking... Because my fucking waist area is just like... Ah! You know what I mean? Y'all ever have that where pants too tight, you sit down, and it's just like... Ah! I gotta stand up. This is tight. Tight. We gotta do a thing here. We're going to have to solve puzzle by hitting these switches. First, let's survey the outside. Okay. Okay. Well, I don't think I see exactly what I have to do, but I do see the entrance. See some of the switches that need to be switched. I'm gonna say we need to switch both switches. We need to switch switch A and switch B into the opposite place where they are. And we're going to do this by slowly crawling around. Like, oh crap, you can run. You can run. I was about to say, this is... What is it on Always Sunny? Nightcrawlers? This is Nightcrawlers. This is just Nightcrawlers. That's a good name for a Zelda stream. I've said before, like, when I put up the VODs on YouTube, I put a name on it. We've had a few possible things that I said that could easily be the name of a VOD. Referencing Always Sunny Nightcrawlers, I think would be a funny choice. That would be a funny choice to me and hopefully others. It's probably going to be something that's, I don't know. Options. Got options here. Lots of good, dumb stream titles are presenting themselves. This is just Nightcrawlers. Pretty good title. Pretty good title. That is what it's called in Always Sunny, right? Nightcrawlers? It's exactly what it sounds like. That's the joke in Always Sunny. Is that exactly how it sounds like? Yeah. Is that the joke behind Nightcrawlers? Is that another Always Sunny joke? It's been too long since I've seen most of Always Sunny. I feel like I'm just going off memory now. Similar to like South Park, where I haven't seen the show in ages, and at this point, I feel like some parts of it would be rough going back to. More with South Park. There's some South Park stuff that did not age well because it's more offensive now than it was then. You know? I am your brother's friend, yes. You got a key for me. Okay, sure. Is this the boss key? What is this gonna be? I think we still need a small key, so probably small key. Or just, okay, dungeon. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, wow, there's a lot of this dungeon left. Was this? There's a lot of this dungeon left. Like a goodly amount. Okay. Buying things is fun. Definitely will buy more things in the future. We have to do another puzzle down here or something? Like switch back some of these switches? What the hell? Why is it rotated? I changed the camera angle. It's opposite to where it was before, and that's a little disorienting. Whatever. Little more Nightcrawlers didn't never hurt nobody. I think that ought to open the area. Nope, did the opposite. Closed this area, opened the area that was already open. There's a secret in this room. Where would it be? It's not based around that flame, is it? Fake wall, okay. What does that mean? Just try blowing up the walls? Is this like the 2D games where you can tell a fake wall by stabbing it? Oh, well, we guessed right. Good, okay. Clicking in the... I guess everything in this game uses the right stick to attack, or, you know, at least this version. But, this minigame version of it. Nightcrawlers clicking to attack feels especially silly because it's not even... This doesn't have to be motion controls right here. It's just an attack button. Or the thing that approximates motion controls, which is a stick that is, you know, I have to take the button off, my finger off the run button, or hold the controller weird. Oh, I hope that was, for a purpose. It wasn't. How about another card? I got more cards. Like I said, don't have that many tonight, but the ones I did prepare I'd like to use. Try German chocolate, Milka Bar. One thing I was thinking when I was writing these cards is that even if I don't have like any big electronics things to buy, I will occasionally just buy things anyway, you know. Say I'm at a grocery store at the H-E-B. I see a funny chocolate bar. I might buy it just on a whim. And that is what happened the other day. What's in this chest? Is it the key? Cool, small key. I saw this thing here, which I had never seen before, And then I realized, I looked at the section above, it was like English/German treats. And you can sort of see there's some German there. It looks like a chocolate bar with spots of white chocolate. And I want to try it. On the back, it has, let me zoom in on my camera. On the back, it has like a nutritional sticker because the printing on it by default is German. It has German health information. And interesting how they do that. I didn't know that's how you had to do when you had import foods. I think I've had like Japanese treats at import stores, and I don't think they did anything like that, actually. Maybe it depends. Maybe HEB is just better about it. This thing is tough. Ah! One second, let me get a pair of scissors. I've had this pair of scissors as long as I can remember. They are a little bit grody, but, wait a minute. There's like a thing that says how to peel it. Oh, okay. Never mind, I don't have to use the grody scissors that I use on all manner of things that you don't want touching your food. Apparently you peel it apart. Oh, that's interesting. Let's see how it looks here. It does indeed look like a cow. Just zoom in. Big spots of white chocolate. Not necessarily on every piece. Some of these pieces have basically nothing on them. Or this corner one in particular just has pretty much all chocolate. This one as well. This one right here. Let's try. I think this is really good. Kind of reminds me of an Easter bunny. I don't know I can really taste the white chocolate. But it is delicious. Either way. I'll just have one more of those and I'll save the rest for later. That's neat. That's neat. I like to just, you know, I'm very easy as far as like seeing things in a store and then just buying them. After going like, yeah, sure, oh yeah, that sounds good. That's interesting, that's different. I saw they had Irish sausages that were like garlic sausages. Decided to try those out the other day. I haven't actually eaten them yet. I'm gonna put them into my spaghetti. I figure garlic spaghetti, pretty good, you know, garlic goes in spaghetti. So garlic sausages should work in spaghetti, that's my theory. Hopefully that pans out, because it'd be a waste of spaghetti if it doesn't. Apparently, I talked to my ma, and she's about that, and she said, it's St. Patty's Day, that's why. Which, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Do like an Irish themed thing for St. Patty's Day. Yeah, that checks out. I hope they're good. I wouldn't necessarily mind a little more garlic in my my pasta experience. That's not really how I typically do my pasta, but I have given thought to like having a side of garlic bread or something, in addition to the sausage and the pasta and the heaping helping of Parmesan that I like to do. I'm probably making it too often, I'll say. Whoops, let me get the chocolate bar down. Sorry. Didn't notice that was still there. We were just walking back to a door. It's probably fine. Anyway. That's stuff I think about while I'm at the grocery store. I really like H-E-B. H-E-B, great selection. And also they have, like, a great selection of just... not just their own personal brand and stuff, but also just basic stuff that you want. That you want to find at a grocery store. Like, you know, a good selection of Stouffer's, for instance. And other such, products. I randomly shouted out one such product, like, last year, or late last year. The cheesy chicken and rice bowl that Marie Callender does. And the last few months, I've been having trouble finding those at, like, Target. It seems like they've stopped carrying them in recent times. Which is why I was happy to see the other day at the H-E-B cheesy chicken and rice. I immediately just, I bought like 3 of them. Right then and there. Probably overkill, but I'll eat them over the course of a week or 2 or 3. Can't go wrong with those. I think those might... I think cheesy chicken and rice might be my favorite microwavable frozen meal. Just a very good formulation. You can't go wrong with how cheesy it is. It's very cheesy in a nice way. And also you got some rice, you got some broccoli, you got some chicken. Everything you want. And it mixes together nice in a very cheesy way. I guess, off the top of my head, there are a lot of noodle dishes in, like, the frozen section, right? There's relatively fewer, cheesy frozen things. A lot of noodles, relatively little cheese. And cheese is just a thing that makes things good. Cheese tasty. So much Nightcrawlers. So much Nightcrawlers here. Right, we need to do something about him so that he cannot unswitch our switch. The prick. I don't think I can go over there. I'm not sure what the purpose of that is yet. Why ride that raft? Why send that raft out? I remember this puzzle as I got to, you know. I'll say my memory is not great on this dungeon, but I have, as I saw Nightcrawlers, I distinctly remembered, oh right, this area has Nightcrawlers. Obviously I didn't think it like that, because, you know, I only thought about the very funny Nightcrawlers comparison a second ago. Oh, you just got Boogie. You just got Boogie. There's time before the cutscene starts. As long as the way in front of me is clear, you'll never catch me. Right, because you guys are better at digging than I am. Nightcrawlers. I'm coming to get you. Okay, so what we need to do here is open a way back, and we need to do something with the gate so it creates a dead end in the maze, and then we can get his ass. What? I guess we have to lure him down this path. That's what it is. There's a bomb in the way. Well, if the bomb blocks his path, that's fine. Oh. I didn't have to do anything clever. I just had to catch him turning around. That's right. Your brother gave me these gloves. Can you imagine thinking this game was a 5 out of 5? Honest question here. At the time, some people did think that. I would have to imagine a lot of them have recanted by now. It's okay. Some of the dungeons are really good. There's some bullshit. Too much bullshit. So much bullshit they had to reinvent the entire Zelda franchise. It had gotten to critical levels. It had gotten... It was a real blight on the franchise, on the thing. All the bloat that had snuck in and crept up, and to the point where they were literally recycling, using the same areas 3 times. Just so they could get 3 or 4 more gameplay encounters out of each zone. Ridiculous. I just don't know why they thought that was a good idea. What the hell happened where they couldn't have a new area for each part of the game? And have it basically be like, oh, you go in an area, you explore it, you do like a side thing, dungeon. You do like some sort of quest, dungeon. Why couldn't it be that? Why the same areas, and why is it bullshit? Why is it bad? I guess is the question. Big question. Wait. I'm confused here. Oh, do we have to dig into here and unplug them from this side? You know, through Nightcrawlers. It's just Nightcrawlers. How about another card while we're escaping the lava? That's a silly time for a card. How about we wait until we're out of the danger zone? Time-wise, we're not doing half bad. About 2.5 hours into the stream. Probably most of the way through the dungeon. We could end after 3 hours, or we could go into the whole start this next loop. We could end on fighting the big boy. I think we fight the big boy after the boss of this zone. I think time might work out where that's fine to do a big boy fight. We'll see what happens after this dungeon. If there's plot and big boy and the reveal about what happens next, maybe we should just go ahead and get that over with. And I say that, but that means that the next stream would be a lot of all the side activities that suck. And none of the plot that's kind of interesting and cool. This stream kind of has some interesting, cool parts already. Shouldn't I leave some interesting, cool parts for next stream? That said, it has a lot of Nightcrawlers as well. And I'm not sure the boss of this world is going to be super novel, I'll say. Sadly, I didn't remember what the boss was, but I think I know because I was looking for thumbnails. I was looking for images of this dungeon for use of as a thumbnail, and I saw what I believe is the boss in some of them, and like half of them. And I totally forgot that that boss was the boss of this. I say that in a way that is negative. Like, oh, right, we're doing this again. How about another card? Anyone remember the iPod Nano? I was thinking about this the other day. I've been sort of in the mood, like, randomly looking back at old videos of Apple announcements, you know? Like, I just got a watch, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna randomly go back and watch the original iPhone announcement, and goddamn, that changed the world. Watched also the watch announcement, and like, goddamn, that is, in a lot of ways, kind of the same thing as the thing I have on my wrist. Negative. I feel negative about that. I feel after 10 years, it should really be almost entirely different. Especially when we're talking about, in the ways in which the apps are limited. Watched a little bit about the original iPod video. Of course, the iPod Nanos, which that's the one I had as a kid. I had an iPod Nano. Specifically, I had the 3rd generation Nano. I don't think it was the video. I think video was a big feature of that one. It was the big fat one. It was the one where it had a big screen. It was sort of rectangular, not really tall, but it had a big widescreen at the top that you could use for playing videos and stuff. At the time, that was just an amazing thing. I definitely put a lot of like TV shows and such on it. The thing that comes to mind is that I had copies of Doctor Who, old Doctor Who, like from the 60s and shit, 80s and shit, old 70s Doctor Who, right? I had some of that, and I put that on the thing, and I would watch it in gym class. I would, you know, sneak away and just hang out on a golf cart that was there for some reason. And I would sit in that, and I would watch the iPod Nano. Just think, you know, kids nowadays, they just have fucking regular-ass phones, and it's not so much... It's not so much a miracle that they can do that, but at the time, it was a goddamn miracle. You could not do that before the iPod Nano, before that little thing, and, yeah, it served me well. Also, the iPod, you know, the click wheel design. Very smart design. Alright, there was the whole puzzle about the 2 heads. Go inside the one that's sleeping. Alright, it's gonna be the hook beetle. What? What? Why can't it go good? Why does the beetle expire here? Is it just too hot? I think we have to jump over here. Yep. Cool. Okay. Anyway, really thoroughly enjoyed that device. It was a hell of a thing. It died when I was in college, and it was pretty much a bummer because I didn't have another device just to slot in. I mean, who would, right? At the time, the iPod had moved on to being touch-based, and it was just sort of like an iPhone, but without a lot of its best capabilities, right? A not great device. In other words, at least, you know, not as revolutionary, not as, like, desirable as the original iPod was back when phones didn't serve that same function. You know? So when it broke, I ended up getting a Zune HD, which was a very sleek little device, OLED screen, gorgeous UI. I kind of liked it in a lot of ways, just for its basic functionality, more than the iPod Touch at the time. Though I will admit, I was obviously wrong on that front. Well, insofar as the iPod Touch has applications, and the apps are what matters about that device, you know. For the Zune HD, all I wanted was a device that, I'll say, as a device that just plays music and that's it. And maybe can play video if you want. The Zune HD was a great product. But it existed in a world where, very quickly, apps were the defining thing. Apps were what mattered, and it had none. It had maybe a few, but not real ones, and not in the numbers that would matter. Maybe it had like 3. A half dozen, tops. As far as games or anything useful goes. Obviously, I guess coming off that, there was part of me that was looking at Windows Phone, but by the time I was ready to get a phone and had, like, money to, like, afford a phone, I didn't work in college. I just, internship was the first job I had in college, so I didn't really have the money to have a phone. Back then, I have a smartphone, specifically. Back then, people didn't just have smartphones. You had to have a reason. At the very least, it felt like that to me. Nowadays, kids will just have smartphones, even if they don't work. Weird, but probably better than the world I lived in, I'll say, for what it's worth. It's better, but it's still weird to me thinking back and not having. It's gonna be weird to say, like, oh yeah, my first smartphone was, like, right as I graduated college, I picked one up. And before that, I always carried a dumb phone, and I carried a dumb phone in one pocket, and also a Zune HD. That's an odd thing to be able to say. Applications, though, that's like the killer thing that phones have that a simple media device just can't match. Not in the least. This is some sort of puzzle. Let's look at this from the outside. Try to work out what is going on here. This is the way back, and we can get a shortcut. Let's just unlock this real fast. I'll say I think that as far as devices I've been enamored with in the past, the Zune HD is definitely a huge one for me. The iPod Nano was as well. That's that third generation specifically, 2000 and something or other. I forget what. I watched a video, but I forgot which year it came out. I think it's like the third Nano that existed, the rotund one, more boxy, and a horizontal, wide display. Kind of makes sense the later ones to make the display just vertical, and if you want to watch widescreen video, you just turn it on its side. That, in retrospect, is a good design for that. Maybe a better design, I dare say, but I don't know. I like the original. I like the, trying to set these fires once. I think we're just trying to set them, period. So if we go over... Oh, these have a different number of things on them. That's the puzzle. 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 3, etc., etc. I got it. I started thinking about the iPod Nano just with, just getting an Apple Watch, getting a laptop that I'm enamored with. Honestly, it would be fun to just look back further and think more about what other devices I've hogged for over the years, really become a huge believer in. The Yoga. The Lenovo Yoga, the first one of those, was one of those. Last laptop I had, even. The first Lenovo Yoga. Damn good device. Doesn't work anymore. Apparently there's some sort of update or something. The chips, they don't work to do Wi-Fi reliably now. You can't count on them, so... Hell, whatever. I'm getting a new laptop in a few days. That's not important right now. For the years that I used it as a main driver. Only driver, I guess, hell, now I do have a daily driver, insofar as I will have a laptop and a home machine, both of which are relatively new. The PC will be the daily driver. The laptop's more of a work machine. More of a work machine, but will be usable for streaming and other such things. Which is damn nice. There we go. Mini boss there. I think this dungeon... I'm afraid to say it. I think this dungeon is... I think this one is the second worst of the level of the game so far. I would put it above on a tier list, right? I'd put it a tier above the first dungeon, which I found to be very plain. But the problem with this dungeon is that the Nightcrawlers is not a good dungeon item. It's a really sucky dungeon item, and it's just no fun at all. And yeah. Also, it's just a version of an item that we already have. I guess that's happened in the past, right? Like Ocarina has the long shots. But the long shot lets you go places that are far away. It's a good item, and you'd like to have it. It's a meaningful upgrade. Whereas this bolts on a new functionality, which is a bit crap, onto an item that was already a bit crap. It's not a good one. How many cards do I have left? Let me look at my my phone here and just look down the list. Just a couple. Just a handful. Here's a quick one. I'll do a quick one real fast. Been playing Marvel Snap, running a Super Giant Lockdown. I can show that deck real fast. Basically, I modified a really strong deck that I saw online and made my own version of it. Basically, just the goal is to skip turn 5. It's called turn 5 skip. Is to skip turn 5 and then do like Doctor Doom, Absorbing Man. And Absorbing Man reveals after the end of the game. That's what Supergiant does. Makes cards on the turn after reveal at the end of the game. And that's been fun. I also did see that there's like a Valentine's Day thing that they're doing where cards are, if you play them with the cards that they're romantically involved with, they get extra power. That's kind of neat. I'll have to screw around with that in the next week or so. Honestly, it only happened like just earlier today, and didn't have time to start really thinking about that and trying out some ideas that might work with that. Here's the thing that I got a little bit spoiled on. I say spoiled on, I know this game, but I forgot that this was the case. Of my thumbnails, Girahim is the boss of the level, isn't he? Well, actually, that doesn't have to be true. He seems to appear before many bosses in this game, and he's not always the one you actually fight. But I think in this case he might be. Yes, that's right, her name was Impa. Because these drawings suggest existence of a second gate of time. News has just filled my heart with rainbows. I don't know what this guy wants. I'm a busy boy. I've been a busy boy. Searching here and everywhere. This is the kind of... Yeah, I'm not going to finish what I was saying, though. Yeah, I couldn't find a single clue. Since I know you, there's frowns all around. Okay, dude. I guess the second dungeon already had a lava-based boss, so it's fine that they don't have a second one of those. But come on. This game kind of feels like it had a budget, and the budget was not super high, and I don't know why that would be. It's a goddamn Zelda game, and it's on the fucking Wii. It was on the fucking Wii. The system that sold gangbusters. They couldn't afford multiple worlds. They couldn't afford unique bosses for each area. Maybe it's a gameplay thing, like, oh, well, we have to figure out how that's going to work with the motion controls or the directional controls if you're on the Switch version like I am. And you don't want to use the Joy-Cons. There's a channel point incentive if you want to make me use the Joy-Cons. Up to the people in the Twitch chat. That's a Twitch thing for people on the YouTube side. What deal do you want to make, dude? I'm not gonna tell you, I'm just gonna kick your ass. The last time we fought him, it was kind of the hardest boss fight in the game, so... yeah. He's kind of got a cool thing going on. He's got, you know, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood Greed. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. Greed Full Metal Alchemist. That's how you say it when you say character thing that they're from. You say it in that order. Greed Full Metal Alchemist. Brotherhood. I don't remember if Greed was the same in the original adaptation. He's pretty early in the series. Greed appears pretty early on. So you would think, because the original adaptation was loyal up to a point, that would be the point where it was continuing to be loyal, but I guess it wasn't. I guess it split off pretty early. The original thing. Okay, you got a sword and a... Right, I gotta do the thing where I hold in one direction and I stab in the other. It's silly. Not how swords work. No one just literally stabs from the other direction. Not how it works. wiggle the stick to get loose. This, So I can hold the stick in a direction, and then let it go, and then start swinging in that direction. And that actually fools him. That actually does fool his AI. Just hold, release, and then start flicking in that direction. That's actually a pretty painless way to do that. How about another card? Follow up on Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth. I mentioned on Friday I was considering getting that game. I wasn't a big fan of the first RPG, you know, Yakuza, the 8th one, Like a Dragon. It was originally just called Like a Dragon. But I have heard the combat was better in this one, and, you know, I do really love the writing in these games, so I wouldn't have mind if it was good and I liked it. But I have talked and asked some people, and it sounds like it is still kind of the same thing. So if you didn't like it the first time, maybe don't go in on it necessarily. And well, I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. That's probably the safest thing to do rather than go in on a game that I'm not really that hot on, not really that sure about, not feeling that much. Also, I realized that, wait a minute, there's a fantastic remake of Persona 3 out there that people are loving, and that makes Persona 3, the game with the best plot in the series, into more like Persona 5, the game with the best gameplay systems in the series. It would just make sense to get that one instead and spend 100 hours there, rather than spending 100 hours on a game that I'm not sure that I am into in a series where I've gotten the last couple of them and I've gotten nowhere near finishing because they're really long, and though their plot is just so gripping, they are really long, and there's a lot of just fighting between each plot point that really drags down. And I think I'm just gonna hold off. I'm gonna hold off. I'm not gonna go in on that. I think I'm good on Like a Dragon for now. But maybe Persona. Maybe Persona. I am a human child. Yes, that's right. I have 2 pieces of the Triforce on my wrist. Well, I thought for a second it was going to be a Phase 2 situation. I still have a bunch of cards left, I'll say, so wouldn't mind carrying on for a second. I say, let me see, how many do I really have? Like 3. We'll go forward and do the big boy. We'll get some plot, and then we'll fight the big boy, and that'll be it. I'll do a quick card here. And this sort of ducktails with what I was saying about Persona. There's a lot of Game Pass games. I want to do a Game Pass stream some point near future. I'm thinking next Thursday. Not this Thursday, next Thursday. So that'll be next week's Thursday. This Thursday, I just want to take it easy and have a nice 2-stream week for a change. But there's a bunch of games out. I'm going to start with Persona 3 Reload. I'm going to do Pal World at some point. And there's a number of other games that could be cool to check out. Like, let me see. I got it on my phone. Game Pass. Anuchard, I don't know what that is, but it looked okay. Return to Grace. I don't know what that is, but it looked okay. And sometimes these Game Pass streams, there's a lot of games you've never heard of that I'm sort of interested in checking out. Here's one I've never played. RE2, the remake. That's apparently on Game Pass, and I've never played it, and people say it's one of the best games ever. Yeah, let's go ahead and try RE2 live next Thursday, after Persona and after Pal World. Let's put that after Palworld. And I also have written down here Liza P and Turnip Boy, but maybe, honestly, maybe the best if we just did Persona 3 Reload, Palworld, and then ended on RE2. Maybe that'd be a good docket. A good 3 games to check out and get into. I would like to do Liza P at some point. I would like to do that silly prestige game that looks like Tom Goes to the Mayor. There are games on Game Pass that I think would be fun to play on stream for 30 minutes tops. You know, not the real ones that you actually will go forward with, but ones that are just fun to look at and play for a hot second. About 3 hours into the stream, and we're doing the thing. Perfect. That's making good time. I feel like there was a time relatively recently where the Monday stream, the playthrough, was regularly running 6 hours. And I'm glad that the last couple of playthroughs, the Zeldas and the StarCrafts, have lasted more like 3 or 4. That's more of a sweet spot for me. I think makes for a better length thing. I don't know though. Sometimes I've been like Googling. I've been trying to look up like VODs. I've had to look up like VODs in a couple of cases, trying to find like a good source for, say, a really good thumbnail for the video. And it's funny because when you Google like Skyward Sword Let's Play, let's say, that kind of rhymes. You don't find 4-hour-long videos. Everything that YouTube gives you is like 22 minutes long. And that makes me go like, what the fuck? Makes me go like, really? And then they sort of obfuscate how you can like go further down in the results. It's kind of weird how YouTube works in that way. Annoying. Really wish there was a more nuanced video length filters on YouTube. Random aside. There should really be video length filters. Sometimes you want a 2-hour video essay or a 4-hour stream. Other times you want exactly 10 minutes to fill up the time before you have to leave the house, right? Or a 5-minute thing before bed. You want different length videos at different times, and they should really have something that lets you filter down beyond just longer than 20 minutes. A lot of things are longer than 20 minutes. 20 minutes is not that long. It's not long at all. Well, that's the algorithm for you. It's a whole fucking thing. Hey, we cleared the dungeon. We're outside now. There was a flame. Our crap is powered up. We're going to continue on a bit further. I want to... What do I want to do? I want to see the next plot thing. I bet I'll have to fight the big scaly boy again. And then we'll end after fighting Big Scaly Boy, I bet. At any rate, now is the time for a plot. For a plot to be delivered. We need to find out what's going on with the whole plot of the game and all. Also, let's just very quickly see if we can do Beetle real fast. Just to pick up a, I don't know, we can get a wallet upgrade or something. Could always use more money slots. Here's another card. Follow up on shorts. Another short form clip stuff. And so I talked last week how I was gonna try converting some of my Twitch clips, which are horizontal, into vertical style where they can be serviced on more Discovery, turned into YouTube Shorts, and also maybe give a a good old try to TikTok, which I've never had before. And I'll say I don't have any interest of actually looking at TikTok, but I will absolutely cross-post anything that I do to TikTok, assuming that it, like YouTube, can take up to a minute in clips. Some of my clips are up to a minute, you know, because that's how long a clip can be on Twitch. I still plan on doing that. Didn't find time over the weekend. Been honestly pretty tired. Pretty tired. Sunday, I just wanted to relax. Monday, yesterday, I was just exhausted. Didn't get much sleep the other night. I mean, I've been tracking my sleep. I know, I think I got like 4 on Monday, and that was no good. Got like 5 last night. That's a little better, but still could be a little better. I need to be trying to go to sleep at an earlier time, rather than just randomly saying things like, I would like to play Paper Mario Randomizer right now. Let me spend an hour and a half going through a quick 2-star spirit thing while listening to Revolution's podcast. This model doesn't look as good as it does. I'll take it, sure. Why not? I need to stop doing those things and just go to sleep. Or otherwise wind down. It's always just so tempting to get a little more out of the night, though. Anyway, what I was saying is I haven't found time, haven't been in the mood. That sort of work, I'll say, even if I am staying up late, that sort of work requires energy. And the main thing, what happens when you stay up all night when you don't have to, and do that, is you find yourself without the energy to do such things. So, haven't. Maybe next weekend, maybe sometime soon. Definitely on my list of... Definitely a thing I want to do soonish, but also very much not the highest priority in my life. You know, a lot's going on, I got work. But I have a plan written down as far as the clips that I want to pull, and I want to try converting. I want to have 10 ready to go when I'm just starting up. I'm not sure, like, what the best policy is as far as, you know, should they all be ready to go at once? Should they be 1 per day? Should I space them out? And, no idea. No idea what best practice is for clips. Maybe I should Google that at some point and see what people are saying. Or for TikTok, or for Twitch's vertical discovery thing that they do. Where you can make your Twitches into vertical style, and it'll show it to people. There's like some sort of discovery thing that exists on Twitch where if you verticalize your clips, there's like a random clip discovery thing that they put together, which I don't know why you would do that. Why not have that, but have it be horizontal? You know, other than, oh, well, we gotta be just like TikTok and just like YouTube. Just like our competitors, we gotta be just like them. We can't be different. No, we can't be different in a way that makes sense for us. No, no, no. Definitely not. Giant bomb. Name of a website I like. So, now that we've done the thing, come back here and say hello. Alright, cutscene stuff? Hey. Alright, it's time to open the Gate of Time. Alright, I will open the game of time. Gate of time? Oh no, the monster came back. I gotta fight him. Bruce is gonna be a cool dude this time. It's actually kind of a cool thing. I'm gonna eat that chocolate bar when we're done here tonight. He has like a whole... That bomb that we just saw. It's Bruce's new thing. The Grucinator. Yeah, while we were doing like 3 whole dungeons, he was building a minecart track. He was doing Minecraft over here. That's pretty cool, dude. No, wait, what? Hang on. He was doing Tears of the Kingdom. He was building a custom vehicle, and also the track that it runs on. Okay, that's not exactly Tears of the Kingdom, but it's close. Closer than most things in this game, other than, you know, mechanics that carried over to Tears of the Kingdom. Here comes the Billy. Alright. Big boy man. Then we'll see... Should we see the plot, or should we leave that for next time? As like a cool thing to start out on. The whole time gate thing. You know what? I got like 2 cards left, so let's do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this last card. We're gonna fight this guy. We're gonna kill this guy. We're gonna defeat this guy for now, and then we will leave off. We will leave off right before we go in and see what's up. And next time we'll pick up with that, and that'll be a pretty cool way to start. Not a fight. It's you know, it'll be right into the plot. And then we'll head right off to a new area. Well, not really. We'll head off to a old area where we'll do something really, really terrible. I remember very distinctly what happens in this game after Big Boy, after this part here, is you have to go around the loop one more time. And the swimming in the forest was really, really, really terrible. On motion controls, at least. It was one of the worst things that's ever been in a Zelda game, and that'll be next week. That'll be next week. I'll say again, I'm not sure if next week we'll have a dungeon, because there's just... God damn it. All the bloats before next time is pretty fucking severe. So next time there's the swimming in the water, not very good. There's also a little bit of mountain stealth, volcano stealth, which is, I think, fine. Probably the best of the 3 things that it has you do. And then, additionally, okay, this is kind of cool. Kind of goes with the system that they introduced for the boats previously. That's pretty smart. Anyway, there's going to be the swimming in the water, volcano stealth, and then I don't remember the 3rd area at all. What you did in the desert. I know that it involves, like, a lightning fucker. Maybe we should have saved it for right now. The bomb. Swing the sword, dipshit. Oh my god. Okay, we'll deal with the feet. It's feet time. I know, just... I know you're ready to go, Groose, but I can do this. Fuck her. I know, Groose. Okay, this is good spots. I don't remember at all what the desert part is, but it's probably whatever. It's probably okay. Historically, the previous Zelda... What the fuck? Fucking kidding me with this? There we go. One more. Is that it? One more card here. Ah, yeah, that's it. Good fights. I think this boss fight is more annoying than fun, is the problem with it. It's challenging and scary, I guess, but mostly in terms of like, well, I would hate to do it again. It's just annoying. All right. There we go. It's done. I gotta draw a fucking thing. That's not entirely awkward. That sort of DS style, draw a thing! That really went away after, the aughts. Mostly. Everyone realized it was a terrible idea and not the best use of a touchscreen. Drawing pictures. Like, no, that's never gameplay. That's gonna have detection issues. You don't want to do it that way. Okay, let's head to the save. I got, I think, one last card here. Oh, I have two last cards here. Did you hear that Microsoft is about to say something on a podcast later this week? That's kind of news. I don't expect that much from it. You know, there's been a lot of rumors about how Microsoft games are coming to other platforms. Xbox games are coming to other platforms, like Sea of Thieves and, Starfield. Which, okay, sure, those games are okay. Put them on other platforms, that's fine. People have been up in arms about that. I'm not sure what this podcast will entail. Will it be like, Major Nelson or whoever. Is Major Nelson still at Xbox? I don't know who's still at Xbox. Whoever is still at Xbox basically saying like, okay, hey, listen. You know how we're doing Game Pass? That's our focus. Has been for the last 7 years. 5, 6 years, Game Pass has been the thing. Please understand that we don't care about hardware anymore, and the console war is over. Maybe that'll be what they say, and if they say that, it won't be a big surprise. So I don't know if it's necessarily something to be excited for. If they say something like, we're never doing a console again, that's not going to be what they say. So that's right out. I'm going to say 0% chance of that. That'd be interesting. If they say like, oh, we're announcing another console, that'd be a surprise to me. I feel like it's the Xbox Series X is still perfectly good. I guess it has been, Jesus, like 5 years. It's been like 5 years since the Xbox Series X came out. Dear Lord. Doesn't feel like it. Doesn't feel like it at all. They could say something like, oh, we're getting into handheld space, like the game, the Steam Deck space, which would be a surprise, but sure, why not? I'm not really super excited for it, I'll say. And if it turns out to be the biggest thing ever, uh, you know, prove me wrong, I guess. But my guess will be somewhere between an apology for like, yeah, exclusivity's not going to be our focus anymore. Somewhere between an apology and a mission statement, which is to say, it's going to be kind of boring. Unless they actually have stuff to announce that's not just, hey, game that you already played on the Xbox, it's coming to the PlayStation. You know, they'll be able to play Sea of Thieves on the PlayStation in the near future. How about that? And you go like, well, that's all right. I guess. Sure, why not? Why not? And I'll also say I'm looking forward to the next big Nintendo Direct, which gotta be soonish. I think the rumors are that there's going to be a partners one soon, but those rumor mongers seem to be wrong, considering that it's Tuesday and there's been no announcement yet. Unless an announcement happens tomorrow, they're probably full of shit. And it's not this week. It's just sometime in the near future. But even leakers aside, look, it's been 5 months, like 5 months since the last one. It's gotta be soon. They always do a direct every like 4 or 5 months. Honestly, sometimes every 3 or 4 months, except not over the December time frame. Like that's not when directs are done. But you gotta be about the time where they'll be looking to do another one anytime now. And hey, we might hear about new N64 Online, Game Boy Advance Online releases. Like, yeah, we kind of are out of those, I think. Not sure if anything hasn't released yet for those. That'll be good. Um, we got to hear about new games for this year. We got to hear about the new Switch. If Metroid could be ready to go, Metroid 4 could be ready to show, that would be nice. I'm not counting on it though. I'm not counting on that being like anywhere near ready for even a trailer. But we'll see what happens pretty soon here. That's got to be coming up. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. And I reckon the big like mathematical, just time-based promise of a Nintendo Direct is a lot more promising to me than the actual concrete Microsoft thing that's happening this week. Okay, that's gonna do it for tonight. We did a whole bunch of dungeon. We did a whole bunch of bullshit before the dungeon. It was kind of shit. The whole escort quest was the worst thing I've ever seen. The dungeon was it was just all Nightcrawlers. Nightcrawlers was like a huge element of that dungeon, and yeah. And then after that, there was the boss fight here, which is the second time we're fighting this boss and will not be the last time. It's not the best boss in the world, and you know, I don't like that they did it this way, and I hope next time they do like if ever they do a throwback to this style of 3D Zelda that has like dungeons and stuff, make original areas for one, make original areas for each part of the game. Two, just focus on the dungeons, just like mainline us to the dungeon. Don't put too much stuff. And three, try not to get so hung up on reusing everything like 3 or 5 times and dragging out the length of a game. A little shorter would be perhaps. It's okay to be short if it's. I'd rather it be short than bad, is what I'll say. And oh, 4, don't worry so much about motion controls. Those were a fad, and they're best used in reservation. They're best used with what's the word? They're yet best used conservatively. I feel like there's a better word that I'm not thinking of. Doesn't matter. Schedule. Hey. I'll be back on Friday for viewer levels. No stream tomorrow or Thursday. Honestly, I did think for a second, like, oh, it'd be fun to do Persona 3 Reload, like, as soon as tomorrow, but let's do that next Thursday. I kind of want a week where I'm not doing a ton of stuff, especially because I'm getting a new laptop on Thursday, and that's going to be exciting. Viewer levels will be Friday, 6 p.m. Central, normal time. Uh, I'll be back. And the next stream after that will be Skyward Sword HD, the whole big chunk of the game where there's no dungeons for a while. I don't know if we'll get to the next dungeon from there, but it's possible. I would really like it if we did, but we'll see what happens. Um, then I'm thinking about next Thursday. I'll be doing a Persona Reload Pal World, and I'm thinking RE2 as a thing. And that's worth noting. In like 3 weeks, there will be a Banjo Tooie in one go stream where I try to play and finish Banjo Tooie all in one go. That'll be fun. That'll be a thing. We'll see how that goes. Thank y'all for coming by, hanging out, doing whatever, watching. Mostly, if anyone was around, they were mostly watching. I'll say. Let me go ahead and see who's online and send you over somewhere. Birdie V has disabled raids. Wow, that's depressing. Birdie V used to be a great one to raid because she would always just like pull up the VOD of the person that raided. Huh. I guess she must have had a bad experience with it at some point. That's a shame. Oh, Andy Havoc is doing a raid-a-thon. Well, then we'll just raid Andy Havoc then. Sure. He is literally asking to be raided. In the title of a stream. Maybe, does that work? Can you just do that? Raid me, please? I don't know. That's not a good name. I guess you could if you want to. I don't know that I ever would. Folks, I'll see you on, I will see y'all on Friday for viewer levels. Like I said at the top, the bug that was affecting Japanese characters and names on the YouTube side, fixed. Not going to be an issue going forward. Everyone should be able to put their levels in, and it'll work great. So I'm happy about that. Looking forward to that. Have a good one, folks. I'll see you on Friday. The next stream of this will be... One second, I gotta grab the... mouse. The next stream of this will be on next Tuesday in a week from now, and then after that will be Game Pass. But most important, next stream Friday, 6 p.m. Central. I'll see you there. You have a great week, everyone. Bye. Raids out. Bye, folks. Watching the VOD later on. Bye.